What is up, guys? Julian's we here, and I want to talk about the classic guys. The classic guys that represent classic bodybuilding today in 2021, 2020. So, yeah, guys. It's not about first place, guys. Chris Bumstead and all that. There was a lot of talk about Breon. Actually, opens up a little bit more and says, yeah, he got beat. Both guys beat him, and where he think he slacked up. I did post a couple of clips in his interview on muscle development, so you can go and check that out. Also, you can go check out the entire video on muscular development if you like to, but I just take my favorite parts and I just put it out there in his response to losing, and both to Breon and Terrence. So basically, I just want to do some comparison in the videos and really see where he slacked. Just to do the comparison and see where exactly he got beat, what maybe the judges were looking for, and do a picture comparison as well from pre-judging to the finals. So here we go. So it's basically a video and a pick comparison. So in the front double biceps, you can see there he's more bigger. Breon is more bigger. His biceps more long. The leg, I would say, it's kind of close. Terrence looks a bit more streamlined because of his waist. So his quads does stand out, whether or not, it just looks good. And the side chest here, that's close, but his legs, Breon's legs is more separated from the side, and the back. There's more detail in Breon. I guess he just didn't get to spread it like Terrence did, and that's what he did say at the interview as well. But the lines and the glutes on Terrence, man, it was really a close call. I do not know if it come down to posing, if it was the little jostle he and Chris had that separated them. But look at the legs here again. Breon legs, his inner thighs, the lines there. I would say Breon has even better legs than Terrence, and I always rate Terrence in front, but look at the abs on Terrence, just looks a little bit more aesthetic, just by a little margin, I guess. Now, I'm not saying that's where the 1 point that he got beat by came in, alright? So, pick here, back double biceps. As you can see, Terrence was able to flare his lats more and spread it out more. But the detail and the density in Breon, it's just more dense, man. You could see it there. And Breon did make some improvement. Both of these guys made improvements. Definitely here, it's just maybe because of the spreading, and Terrence was a bit more polished if you look into the videos versus photos. Like I said, there's always a difference with photos versus video, and here, who did it better? I think Terrence won this here. His vacuuming is just more deep, his waist is more tapered, and he kind of presents his legs a little bit better. But the upstairs there, just about, even his lats kind of flare out, was able to open up more than Breon, and I think that's where Breon took a hit, man. His back, his lats, he was not able to do it. And like he said in the interview, I do not know if it was an excuse, but he just fell short of the glory there. So side chest here, this is really close. They both hit it really well, but Breon has a little bit more detail in his legs from the side, and even his glutes tie in. So I think Breon would have won this shot right here, man. I would give this to Breon. Breon did brought up his chest, even though he could use some more upper chest and tie into the shoulders there a bit more. And he did mention that as well. So there you can see, but I still give it to Breon. This right here, because it's a front double biceps and Breon has more biceps, yeah. But like I said, I kind of like, the tapered waist on Terrence, and the flare on his quad is just superb. But yet I would give this here on the front to Breon. Breon just has that kind of what can I say, Robbie Robinson peak. Some might not agree with that, but it's crazy, man. His peak, he definitely got Terrence there. And here, boy, this is a close one. This is really a close one. I still think I do not like how Breon has his legs compared to Terrence, and the tapered waistline. Breon was trying to keep up with these guys and pull the vacuum, but he did not pull it off as good as Terrence. He's lately started doing this compared to these guys. These guys have probably been doing this for maybe 10 years plus, and Chris still has the best vacuum. So I'm not even going to go there, but I'll give this to Terrence. Man. The tapered waist comes down, whether he was vacuuming or not. I'll give this here to Terrence. And the lat flare, as you could see there. I think Breon waist was a bit more wider and thicker, we know that for sure, and he wasn't able to get his lats out, so he definitely needs to bring up those lats and get those flare out and work on controlling that to be able to just spread them out and fly. So at the finals here, I guess I cannot really take Chris out. I don't want to take Chris out here, but let's just focus on, even though they were exactly pointing out on Breon and Chris here, but look at the back on Terrence there, man. He just looks polished here at the finals, like he was just polishing all night as he went to sleep. He just had like a fairy polish in him, and the skin color and everything just blending good, and that's where Chris and Breon hit it off. And he was saying in an interview, people were saying maybe because of his antics, maybe that's why they move him and they put a point. That wasn't good sportsmanship there. Breon should have probably just let it go, and Chris was winning all the way though, nevertheless. But in terms of Terrence placing in front of him, people said that was a point gap. But look how polished his back looked. Terrence's back improved from prejudging to finals, at least to me. It came in more dense. It was more like detail. Even his glutes came in a little bit more detail. So I think really it was about the back shot. You know, a lot of shows are won from the back. We all know that. And here Breon is trying to keep up with these guys with the vacuuming, but I just think you know, aesthetic wise, Terrence just beat him there, man. Definitely, even on that shot. But with the front double biceps, I think it was like lights out, even in the crucifix. And Terrence does that kind of a celebrity, I would call it a celebrity side triceps really, really well. I do not think there's nobody here that does it as good as he does. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm thinking that pose belonged to Bob Paris or something. I could be wrong, guys. If please feel free to correct me. And the front double biceps, like I said, the tapered waist and the vacuuming, Terrence just looked more aesthetic, but Breon was more complete in terms of that pose, definitely. Boy, and the side chest here again at finals. You can give Breon this here. I would like to say, I mean, in my opinion, I would give this to Breon, alright? And Breon's hamstring and glute tie-in, which it's not a big deal about the glute. And like I said, I think this is where Breon really, the lower body, they both got separated hamstrings, glute tie-in. As you could see there, the flare on Chris's. Look at the flare there on, look at the polishness on Terrence. But yeah, like I said, you know, man, I wish these guys all the best, and I'm really hoping that he keeps talking about 1,000%, but I do not know. I think he went to 1,000%. He probably wants to go 1,100% and see on bringing his best. But I think he nailed it. It's just that things didn't go 100 on the stage. Maybe his stage presence and his opening up his lats and so on. Here, Terrence again, I think won this here. Terrence just looks more aesthetic. All right, put aside the biceps, I think Terrence just looks more aesthetic. So definitely, if he'd want to come back next year, he'd got to definitely bring up that waist. All right, guys, bring down that waist, sorry, and bring out those lats. All right, that's it, guys. I'm gonna wrap the video up. If you made it this far, please give the video a thumbs up. Also remember to please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell button for notifications. Until my next video, peace and take care. Stay safe.